There are two significant stories in this week's parashah. One deals with the death of Sarah, which entails the purchase of a burial plot for her and eventually for Abraham. And the second story deals with the securing of a wife for Abraham's son Isaac. The late Lord Sachs, the predecessor to our current chief rabbi of the United Synagogue, makes the point that until this moment in the Torah, the two promises made to Abraham of land and abundant offspring have yet to be fulfilled. Abraham, a stranger in the land of Canaan, does not yet own a strip of land to call his own. And although he has become a father to Isaac, the firstborn son to his wife Sarah, there are no grandchildren, and Isaac is not yet even married. And therefore, there's a real question about to whom the covenant is to be passed on. 5 times in the previous chapters, God promises Abraham that the land of Canaan will be his and his offspring's. Lift up your eyes from where you are, look north, south, east, and west. All the land that you see, I will give you and your offspring forever. Go, walk through the length and breadth of the land, for I am giving it to you. And 5 times as well, God promises Abraham that he will make him a great nation, blessed with many descendants, as he says to him. He took him outside and said, "Look up at the heavens and count the stars, if indeed you can count them." Then he said to him, "So shall your offspring be." In both cases, says Rabbi Sachs, the vendors, if I can refer to Rebecca's family in such terms, we'll come to that in a minute, drive a hard bargain for the land and for a wife for Isaac. Listen to what happens when Abraham tries to purchase a burial site for Sarah. The Hittites, who own the land, offer Abraham any of our choicest graves. Not one of us, they say, will keep you from burying your dead by withholding a grave site from you. Seems a generous offer. Are the town leaders giving the field and the cave to Abraham for nothing so that he can bury Sarah? Abraham presses them. If you are really willing to let me bury my dead here, please ask Ephron, the son of Zohar, the owner of this cave, to sell me his cave of Machpelah. I'm willing to pay the market price, he says. And Ephron, the owner, seems equally gracious. "No, my lord, listen to me. I am giving you the field and the cave that is in it. I give it to you. Go ahead and bury your dead." Really? A piece of real estate being given away for nothing? No mortgage needed, no cash, no contract? Seems a little unusual, but maybe they did things differently then. Don't be deceived. As Abraham continues to declare that he's willing to pay the market price, regardless of inflated or falling property prices, the owner, Ephron, suddenly states his real intentions. "My lord," he says, "hear me. Land worth 400 shekels of silver? What is that between you and me? Go, bury your dead." Abraham has been clear that he doesn't want a gift. He desires legal rights to the entire field through full purchase of the property. But the sting from Ephron is exorbitant, 400 shekels. He has taken advantage of the situation as a local landowner, and he is going to get Abraham, a stranger and a foreigner in the land, to pay through the nose for the cave of Machpelah and the field. In the second story, acquiring a wife for Isaac, there is no courtship, no date nights between Isaac and Rebekah. Instead, the chief servant from Abraham's household is dispatched to Abraham's birthplace to find a wife from his father's house, from the land of his birth. In one of the longest chapters in the Torah, the servant makes the journey to Aram Naharaim, to the city of Nahor, and winds up at evening time by the well. He prays that God will bring him luck, and that the woman who comes down to the well to draw water will offer him and his camels water to drink. His prayer is answered, and he is offered a drink by Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel, who is the son of Milcah and Nahor, Abraham's brother. The servant is offered hospitality by Rebekah's brother Laban, who notices the rings and bracelets worn by Rebekah, gifts from Abraham via his servant. Laban, who comes with a bit of a reputation in the Torah and in rabbinic literature, may be gazing at this wealth innocently, or may be weighing up the advantages of marrying his sister into a prosperous family. More gifts are bestowed on the family: silver and gold objects, articles of clothing, and other precious things. But Laban and his mother are not going to let Rebekah go just yet. Another hard bargain is driven. Let the girls stay with us for another few days or months, they say. Then she can go. What do they hope to get out of the delay? Rebekah is summoned, and her response requested. Do you want to go with this man? And she says, Elech, I will go. These then, says Lord Sachs, Rabbi Sachs, are no minor episodes. They tell a difficult story: the purchase of land and the arrival of posterity will take time and patience. The promise may be God's, but that does not mean that God will act. It is, says Rabbi Sachs, an invitation from God to Abraham and his children that they should act. God will help them, but it requires commitment from Abraham's family against what will sometimes seem to be insuperable obstacles. And importantly, the land of Israel and children, Jewish continuity, remain dominant concerns of Jews throughout the world, even today. We read these two stories through the prism of our own lived experience and aspirations. The cave of Machpelah, where Abraham buried Sarah, and which, according to tradition, is also the burial place of Isaac and Rebekah, Jacob and Leah, is located in Hebron on the West Bank, and is still visited and revered by Jews and Christian and Muslim Arabs today. But it is also, of course, a place of simmering and sometimes overflowing conflict and violence. The promise of a land to Abraham is not only about territory, it is also the promise, as it is for us, of justice, coexistence, and peace. That is our primary concern for all those who live in the land of Israel today. And the promise of children is our challenge to impart a love of Judaism to all those who come after us, our children and those who seek to find shelter beneath the wings of God's presence.